name.
DeAndre.
The one and only.
When they see me, they know that every day when I'm breathing, it's for us to go farther. You know, every time I speak, I want the truth to come out.
Every day I get up on here and talk about crazy and silly or, stupid things that happen in everyday life and on the internet, right? But I don't think I've ever spoken on this topic that I'm about to speak on with you all today. This topic pretty much encapsulates every single, one of those things. And that is the never-ending roller coaster ride of unasked for information that comes out of Jada Pinkett Smith's mouth. The wealth of useless and pointless knowledge that spews from this lady's mouth is unfathomable. Now, to get you all caught up to what I'm referring to, Jada Pinkett Smith has been finding herself going viral yet again for dropping more clues that Tupac, yes, okay, all eyes on me, Tupac Shakur, dear mama, that Tupac is in fact her soulmate, and that Will Smith, her actual husband, is just a guy living in the same house with her. Like, he is essentially a glorified roommate at this point. Let me just take my headphones off. I don't even know where to start. So one of Jada's clips that went viral was a clip of her on an episode of All the Smoke with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. All right, they're two former NBA basketball players. And in this clip, she reveals that Tupac actually proposed to her while she was in jail. Now, since this is affiliated with Showtime and, TV and all that, I don't know if I can really show the actual clip because of copyright and all that kind of stuff, but I'll at least try to let you hear it. So here it goes.
A lot of people might not know, but he proposed to you while he was in jail.
I talk about this in the book when I go to see him in Rikers, when I wrote about that in the book, and when I had to talk about it, speak my words for the audible version of the book. That was probably one of the more painful parts, seeing him there, the condition that he was in, and having to leave him there. He was in bad shape. When he asked me to get married, he was at Rikers. And I knew at that time that, he needed somebody to do time with him, which I was going to do anyway. He didn't have to marry me to do time, right? But he needed a rock. He needed, because of our friendship and because of everything we had been through together, he just wanted to feel that solidified foundation. I promise you, he would have married me and divorced me as soon as his ass left jail.
Yeah, crazy, right? Now, a good amount of the things that she's been saying has come from her book that she is now peddling, and her book is called Worthy. It's basically a tell-all book in which she talks about not only Will Smith, but also Chris Rock and, the whole thing, just trying to make money to capitalize off of the shit that we're all talking about, or that we were talking about. I don't know anybody that's talking about, Will Smith and Chris Rock still, at this point. And it happened, 2 years ago at this point? I don't know. Now, right now, I'm just getting started, right? I'm just greasing up the pan on this one. I haven't even turned on the fire yet, right, to get ready to start cooking. So already in this clip you just heard, she not only is furthering the embarrassment of Will Smith by openly putting out there that another man wanted to propose to her, but also this ties into the fact that she actually said that Tupac was indeed her real soulmate. She interviewed with Rolling Out last Thursday, and she noted that soulmates don't necessarily have to be connected through physical romance, and she had friendship, love, chemistry with Tupac. But she does say that it might not have worked out between them romantically, but it's just the way in which she talks about it that's just so unsettling. Like, just how she says this stuff, right? Like, it was almost like God made us that way. It was like, look, we'll put y'all together. Y'all going to be a dynamic duo. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to make it so y'all not going to be able to get together. So does that mean you never in the back of your mind contemplated it? I don't know. It's just weird to me, man. Now, let's start diving deeper here. So Jada was also on the Today Show and did an exclusive interview with NBC News and was asked about the slap heard around the universe when Will Smith slapped the shit out of Chris Rock live on stage in front of everyone. Well, Jada then uses this as yet another opportunity to give a big old fuck you to Will. It's like she can't get enough of trying to shit on him. Take a look at this.
I did that eye roll not so much for me, and I think this is really important, but the fact that there could be a jab at alopecia.
Will then went on a profane tirade warning Chris not to mention his wife's name. Jada couldn't believe what she was hearing.
What is going on? Now, first of all, I'm really shocked because we haven't called each other husband and wife in a long time. What is going on right
keep
now?
my wife's
name out of your mouth,
yes,
right? And I'm
yes.
like, Chris looks to me and he says, Jada, I meant no harm. Now, I'm just out of it because I'm really worried about
And
Will.
what's Will doing? He's just sitting there?
And Will's still talking. I go, Chris, this is about some old shit. That's all I can think to say, right?
Yep, you heard it straight from the horse's mouth, ladies and gentlemen. The wife of the famous power couple just said in front of millions of people, you know, on daytime television, that her and Will haven't been husband and wife for a very, very long time. In fact, since 2016. That was, in fact, a humongous break in this never-ending saga of the Smith family. So let me get this straight. Your husband, despite being separated, ruined his reputation and damn near his career to defend your honor, and to thank him, you're now doing a press run on a book where you're talking about Tupac and saying that he's your soulmate, you know, and just really throwing a lot of subtle little sneak jabs at Will. It's just really weird to me, man. It's just really weird. Like, is this not weird to y'all? God bless her, you know, like the whole reason why Will did what he did to Chris, albeit wrong, and he probably should have, you know, handled it in a different way, not, you know, in front of literally everyone, but he wanted to let you know that at least he had your back. And when the camera shifts to you in this situation, you never fail to show time and time again that you don't have his back. That honestly says a lot. Like, he's trying to make it seem like he slapped Chris for no reason. But when he made a joke about her hair and, you know, how she was, you know, looking and saw everybody laughing, her whole face changed, and she was looking at Will like she wanted him to do something, and now she dragging them all on social media, doing these interviews, making him look stupid. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Now, to, you know, kind of go on the old shit that she was talking about, you know, Chris Rock actually a couple years past, you know, before the 2022 Oscars, you know, he previously directed some punchlines, you know, at Jada, right? Like during the 2016 Oscars, and, you know, she refused to attend in order to protest the award shows not really having a lot of diversity, right? Like basically not really showing any love to the black actors that year. And there was a lot of good movies that came out around that time that didn't get any Oscar nominations, that was predominantly black casted. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, were noticing that, so much so that it had a hashtag that really kind of took flight, and it was called Oscars So White, right? Because there was literally no nominations of anybody of color, like there might have been one, but for the most part it was like straight white. So, you know, Jada and a bunch of other actors were protesting that, and Chris Rock, you know, being Chris, said that Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties. You know, I wasn't invited. That's not an invitation I would turn down. But when, you know, she was asked about it around that time, you know, she said, we got a lot of stuff we got to handle, a lot of stuff going on in our world right now. We got to keep it moving, right? So, you know, there was definitely shots thrown back then. I believe there were some other times when, you know, Chris Rock would, you know, use Jada as a, you know, stepping stool in his jokes. You know what I'm saying? And Will Smith had warned him about that several times. So for Chris to get up on stage yet again and talk more shit about Jada, whether they separated or not, if Will Smith hasn't showed you anything, he's shown you that he ain't playing when it comes to Jada, all right? And that you going to talk shit, you're going to have to be prepared to face the Reaper. And, you know, he let him know in front of the entire world that he wasn't playing. Now, To top this all off, put a little bit of a cherry on top. She even threw in there during her press run that Tupac apparently suffered from alopecia as well, right? Jada Pinkett, she suffers from alopecia. It's a form of baldness, right? But was just, she said that Tupac was just too, but, apparently because of the times that he was living in, you guess he was too afraid to talk about it. And so there's that. Now, again, another thing that I didn't know, but I really didn't care to know. There's just so many different things that have happened, in the Smith household that I just can't fit into this video. It's just too much. And honestly, don't feel like going through the archives on all the weird shit that has been said and done with them. I can't. It would take me all day. Now, on the flip side, right, to be fair, Will in the past has spoken about their relationship, marriage, in prior interviews and magazines and his latest self-titled book called Will, obviously. I believe he released that like 2 years ago. And even then, nobody really wanted to hear about that, like to hear about their relationship, or, at least it didn't blow up as much as Jada's book, and it doesn't really take for you to be Albert Einstein to figure out why. Now, Will has been pretty supportive of Jada, during this whole book release and everything that she has been doing, and they may have some sort of open marriage or some kind of agreement to see other people while still, living together, or whatever the case may be. It's not really my business, but I don't know. But I do know this relationship has taken a huge hit. The fall from grace has been immaculate. Like, Will and Jada's relationship was one of the most glorified relationships on the planet, and now it's just a shell of his former self. Honestly, it's a shame. I don't know, but I don't know. That's all I wanted to really say on this. Like I said, you can honestly go down a rabbit hole with her specifically and this whole family. Oh my God. I mean, from the whole Willow Smith writing letters to Tupac, talking about how Tupac, I want you to come back because my mom, so we can all be a happy family again. And, just weird shit. It's like, yo, you haven't even, like, Willow Smith, like, Tupac was killed in the 90s. Willow, you weren't even a thought at that point. Why are you writing letters to Tupac? You got that weird shit. Then you had the whole August Alsina crap that just blew up the internet, with his clout chasing ass, and him basically making a whole song about him sleeping with Jada. And, that just kind of helped to catapult that whole, because prior to that, you may have heard rumblings and rumors and all kind of shit about their relationship, but you never really had anything really solid. When August Alsina came through and bust down the doors and just let all of the skeletons out of the closet, that's when the relationship really started to tank and really started to, kind of go down the gutter. Because at that point, their relationship was really their entire brand. I mean, of course, Will Smith was always the A-list celebrity that he was. And Jada Pinkett was kind of like a C+, B-, and I'm being very generous with saying that, B- celebrity, you know what I mean? But their relationship together was always seen as a positive thing, right? Prior to the whole August Alsina drama. Then he came out and basically admitted that he was, piping down Jada. And that was, the whole thing that was going on. And at the time she had her Red Table Talk, which to this very day, I don't understand why people were going on that show and just, putting all their personal business out there. I don't know. I don't know why people were doing that, but he was that whole Red Table thing. And then once that came out and blew up the internet, they had no choice but to respond. So they hop on the Red Table Talk, Will and Jada, and they start talking about it. And you can just see in Will's eyes that it was just draining him to talk about this. And, it just really had a lot of people feeling really bad for him. And in that situation, I don't care who you are, at one point, you really care for this woman. And here she is telling you, that she was piping another dude. Like, it just, listen, man, whether you got an open marriage or not, it's just weird, man. This situation is weird, bro. That's all I got to say. Ever since then, it's just been nonstop foolishness with the Smith family. And honestly, we are all tired of it. We do not give two fucks, man. Like, we really got to stop. We got to stop. Somebody go put a muzzle on Jada for real, because the next thing she gonna say is that, she didn't even meet Will Smith. I wouldn't be surprised if, there was an alert, Jada Pinkett doesn't even know who Will Smith is. She's just been faking this whole time. You know, that wouldn't surprise me. You know, it wouldn't surprise me. But anyway, man, that's going to do it for this. All right, let me know what you think about this video down in the comments, man. This video is already way too fucking long. Anyway, that's it, man. Peace.